Alright. I don't know if this is working, but I wanted a change in surroundings, so hopefully this is working. This is me on my bed. I'm shooting my phone. Everything is strange and new, so I'm not sure if it's working out. It looks like my head's in the frame. Oh, my head. I hope you can hear me as well. I don't have a mic, but if this works well, I might get a mic. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another yappy video. Today I am going to just do a full-on yap with no cast. I kind of found the cast idea too much. It's only been 2 episodes, but I was like, you know what, I think we don't really need it. We can just hang and chat and chill, and I'm just getting more comfortable, I guess, with the idea that I'm no longer just a simmer. For today's video, I thought I would finally go into my Bali love story. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but it's been making me nervous because every time either me or Jiawei, my boyfriend, tries to tell this story to anyone that we know, it doesn't come out the way that we have experienced it, and we don't really know how to tell the story in a way that helps everyone else understand how this is so meaningful to us. Anyways, if you love a good love story, you probably will love this. Like, it's been said that it kind of sounds like a summery island rom-com. I realized that every time I try to tell this story, I would kind of try to do it from like a third-person perspective, like an omnipresent, like, okay, so this is what happened in the overall, because it kind of made more sense to us in our heads like that. But I realized that maybe the way to go about this is to tell it from solely my point of view. So I'll bring you through the entire experience of it, and we'll see if we want to fill in some blanks, or maybe in the future I'll do a video with Jiawei to fill in the blanks and have him tell his side of the story or something. Maybe that would be better. Yeah, maybe. I'm so nervous. Let's start with how I decided to go to Bali. So if you've been watching my videos, you would know that I had a breakup about a year ago, and then I went on a year-long kind of like self-growth, personal growth, healing kind of thing, and I was like completely single for that entire time. I tried out dating apps for like the first month that I was single. I went on like a total of 3 or 4 dates, and I decided that dating apps are not for me, and I'm sick and tired, and I will die alone. As I moved along my healing journey, kind of started to feel like I might be ready to hop back into the dating world. Not really yet, but because I journal every single day I'll say, I don't know if it's even possible to meet this person right now because I don't want to use dating apps, but I'm pretty sure that something's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, but I don't know how it's gonna happen. And like some days I would try to list down my type. I never really had an idea of what my type was. Like I knew that I wanted the guy to be like witty and funny and stuff, but that's usually what I like in a guy. But appearances wise, I didn't really know. Like my whole healing process was like me realizing that I was such a people pleaser that I didn't even know what I preferred. Whatever I liked didn't matter, only whatever someone else's preferences was mattered. Concept of having a favorite something was so hard. So same went for like the type. So I was trying to develop a kind of consciousness to kind of try to figure out what my type was. I was reading a lot of romance novels, reading manga. I don't know, like I know that they are fictional, but I needed somewhere to start from, right? And then I kind of realized that obviously you want like someone who's handsome and stuff, but I didn't really know what my version of a handsome guy looked like. I had a few things on the list, but it was like still in development. All this build up is important because I need you to really understand like the kind of mindset I went on this Bali trip in. And then comes the Bali trip planning. At the start of this year, my friend asked me if I would want to go on a Bali trip with him on our birthday month. The girl that he's dating is there, so he goes there often. So he was like, Shami, do you want to go? We can just hang out and just experience Bali together with me. And I was like, let me think about it. Bali's not too far from Singapore, so like it wouldn't be too harsh on my wallet. Like I really don't have a lot of savings anymore. I was like, I feel deep inside that I should go because first of all, I just felt like I needed it. At the same time, there was something else deeper inside just telling me that I should go and experience Bali. It's like a different place. I never thought I would go to Bali ever. Like it was never on my radar. So I was like, yeah, I should go, but I'm really worried about the money thing. So I had a chat with my girlfriends, and then my girlfriends were like, yes, go for that trip. You can earn the money back. You haven't been on a trip in so long. You need a break. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I should just do it. So it took me a while, but I finally got back to my friend. Do I need to give him a name? Okay, his name is Shah. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And he's like, perfect, I'll let you know when it's time to book our tickets. And then like all of a sudden in a week or so, he got back to me and he was like, some of my friends found out about the trip and they are asking if they can tag along as well. I was like, yeah, sure, no worries. Like I kind of knew who those friends were. I've never met them at all. And new friends, why not? And somehow I was added into the group chat because from the Shah and Shami trip, it had already morphed into a Shami is joining the boys kind of trip. The group was very friendly. Over the days, like they would like talk about random things, and then they would start sending pictures of each other, and Shah was trying to introduce every single one of them to me, right? So like I kind of knew some of them from like his stories and stuff, but they were always just like people on his story, like friends that I knew that he had. They had nothing to do with me, right? But here's where it starts. I've always noticed that one of his friends was pretty cute. And I was like quite excited to know that this guy was gonna be on the trip. But like, you know, like I wasn't ready for anything anyways. And it was like my friend's friend. So I wasn't gonna like do anything. But I was excited because I was like, oh my god, there's a cute guy. And I can, you know. So when we were very close to going on a trip, like about a few days before, the entire group decided to meet up for a, kind of like a pre-trip dinner because I haven't met everyone yet. So Shah thought it was a good idea that I was introduced to everybody first. But before I did, I actually met another friend, like one of my girlfriends, and I was telling her about this trip. I was like, so I'm going on the trip soon, and here's like some of the photos of my friends, and then like, you know, there's this cute guy. Showing her, and she's like, okay. One thing you have to know about Shami that you might not know, I can get very flirty. I like a good love story, okay? I love falling in love and all that kind of stuff. Like I would fantasize it even if I'm not looking for a relationship. So I was just like, do you know what? As much as this guy is my friend's friend and I don't really want to cross boundaries, this guy is so cute. I think I'm gonna flirt with him on a trip, but like harmlessly, and then I'm just gonna play and see what happens. Like if nothing happens, it's fine, just because I think it's cute kind of thing. But yeah, so the next day, the Bali group met up for the pre-trip dinner. Nothing much really happened that night. We were just hanging out as a group, and then we were chatting a lot. I tried not to focus too much on the fact that he was cute, which was a little hard, but because there were a lot of people around, I was able to like just focus on the fact that I'm in a setting with new friends. We ended up having to go home together. We had to take the train home together because he was the only one who didn't ride his bike over, so it was just us that had to take public transport home. I don't drive or ride, so I had to take public transport home anyways. We started chatting as if like we've never not been friends before. The conversation flowed super well. I didn't think too much about it because like I'm naturally a yapo. I usually can talk to anybody anyways. But I think he was very surprised because like Shah actually always said that it was very hard to get to know me at the start of our friendship because we were both very shy at the start. So like getting to the point where we can go on a trip together was almost surreal for us. So Jiawei at that point was actually surprised that I was like talking the entire time. Like Shah was expecting the train ride to be awkward silence, but it didn't happen. But that was just like the first day we ever met. And in a few days, it was time for us to fly off. Jiawei did not manage to get a ticket to the same flight as we did. So like 4 of us was flying off on the same day. The rest was going on their own, like in their own schedule. We met for lunch at the airport, and then Jiawei had a slightly later flight. So he was scheduled to like land in Bali like about half an hour after us. So by the time we reached Bali, it was 7ish, and then by the time we reached the villa, it was 8ish, and then we were supposed to be at the restaurant that we were having dinner at 9. So we went there first. We went there without Jiawei. He was going to find his own way there. The restaurant's name is Penny Lane. I should just drop all of the establishments that I know in Bali. I might as well let you guys know, right? So if you guys are planning a trip to Bali, like these are the places that we went to. We went to Penny Lane for dinner, and it was really, really nice. It was like a very, very romantic, like fairy lights and nicely designed restaurant. I'm a sucker for a well-designed place, and I was so happy. And the food was so good too. There were a few friends waiting for us there already, and then there was us, and then we were already like halfway through our meal before Jiawei came. So like me and a friend, like we were like, okay, let's go order some stuff extra so that Jiawei can dig in the moment he comes, because he's gonna be really hungry anyway. So when he came, he was like sharing food off my plate and stuff like that. Because somehow, even though it was not orchestrated at all, I was seated right on the outside of the table. Like it was a table by the side, so there was a bench area that sat like about 4 people, and 3 of us was on it. 4 chairs on the other side or something like that for the 4 tables, right? So when it came in, like it was obvious that there was a seat right beside me because it was a 4-person bench, and somehow I was seated on the end, so I was naturally gonna be beside Jiawei. I was very excited for him to arrive though, not gonna lie, because cute guy, and obviously he was gonna sit next to me. So I was like, I was very excited for him to come. I don't know why. I mean, like, I know why I liked him, but at that point it was just like, oh, cute guy that I like the look of. Like I wasn't really like closely inspecting my brain at that point. I was just enjoying my first night in Bali. So yeah, my little eye candy. And he ordered a little IPA, and it was like a honey flavored IPA or something. Like there were honey notes to it, and it was really nice. And he was like, hey, do you want to try some? We had a little moment over the IPA because it was so nice. And yeah, we're just talking about the IPA and just completely raving about it for a little bit. I don't know, it was just a little moment. I wasn't really like thinking too much about anything. Then after that, we went to Motel Mexicola. I think that's the club's name. Everyone knows Mexicola when you're in Canggu in Bali. So we went to Mexicola to club, and that's where everything happened. Mind you, it was just the first night of Bali. I haven't even like spent a full day in Bali yet. But yeah, we went to club, and then we were just dancing. I was dancing for a really long time. I haven't clubbed in a really long time at that point. So I was like trying to reconnect with my clubbing roots, kind of. So I was enjoying the music and barely drinking. I was keeping very sober because like I don't really like drinking anymore. At my age, I'm like extra calories for a headache and some hangover, and no thank you. At some point, one of our friends found a table with chairs. At that point in time, I think we've been dancing for 2.5 hours or so. I danced on a table, I danced on a chair, I danced with Jiawei, I danced with like my other friends as well. Like it was just a lot of dancing. I honestly cannot really remember what happened that night, but the craziest part was I wasn't even like drunk, but I couldn't remember a lot of that night. Neither can he actually. So I was like seated down because I was like super tired, and then like Jiawei came over and he was like kind of looking tired too. I was like, do you want to share a chair? Because they were just standing there. Like he was really tall, so I was just like, do you want a chair? So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? So we shared a chair. The chair had a really big seat as well, so it wasn't as if like we really needed to fight for it, but I was being playful and he was being playful, so we started fighting over the chair. So we were just like doing this, like shoving each other on and off the chair. It was like so funny, and everyone was just like, what in the world is going on? At that point, I think everybody has kind of like picked up on the tension, on the signs, on the feel between the two of us, and they were like, what in the world? Because you two just met, like what is happening? But we were flirting and stuff. We realized that everything started becoming like crystal clear the moment we sat in the chair, and then we were like really close together, because previously in every single one of the times that we've been together, we've always kept a little bit of a distance. Like it was like kind of like a cardio distance. But then when we were on the chair sharing it together, it was, how are you gonna, like we were close. We broke the touch barrier was what Jiawei used to describe it, and it was pretty true. At one point we were just like dancing. I was like leaning into him and everything. Like it was getting a little bit obviously flirty. Like at that point both of us knew that we were attracted to each other. We knew, but we're like, maybe the other's drunk, maybe it's just like a good time, because we were in a club. Everything is ambiguous. So like we didn't think too much about it. I don't know if we thought too much about it. I literally don't think we used our brains at all. It was really just reactionary. I don't know. I wasn't even trying to flirt that much. Like I was a little flirty at the end, but I wasn't thinking too much about it. I wasn't turning it on full for him or anything, like because we were in front of our friends. Like literally we were surrounded by our friends, so I didn't want to cross boundaries. I don't know what boundaries there were, but it was like our first night there, and if I were to survive the next 6 days, I don't want to die of embarrassment before the end of my trip. So I didn't really want to do anything like too drastic, you know. That was basically all the interaction there, but that incident really started something. So we went back to the villa, and like in Bali you can actually see a lot of stars because it's not as bright as Singapore, and I love looking at stars. I have this app on my phone where you point it to the ceiling, to the sky. You can actually like kind of using GPS or something, like you can see like what constellations and what the names of the stars are, and then it uses the camera function and stuff, so you literally know where every single constellation and star and planet that you can see in the sky is called. And I was using that, and he was like very intrigued because everybody else was like filtering into the villa, that they were tired. It was like 1 a.m 2 a.m and everybody wanted to rest, so I was just looking at the stars. I was really just very intrigued at the stars, and Jiawei was just there hanging around, like just watching it with me kind of, and he was like, oh my god, I want to see it more kind of thing, and I was like, sure, I can show you more. And then we went back into the villa. Everyone was kind of like streaming off to go take their showers and stuff like that, but we just sat around chilling, talking. We settled by the pool. I just wanted to dip my feet into the pool, so I did that. He joined me, and then we had a really nice night talking about like random things. The conversation just flowed. I was just talking about the stars, and then it led us to talking about Interstellar the movie, and then it led us to talking about like Christopher Nolan movies in general and stuff, and then Marvels for some reason. It was so fun. I was like, I haven't had a conversation like that in so long, like that was meaningless but fulfilling and meaningful at the same time. It was just, I was having so much fun talking. I didn't want to go to sleep, but then like Shao was like hounding us because he is like on laundry duty, and he's like, go take a shower so I can wash your laundry. But at some point he just gave up on me, so like I never got my laundry washed that night. I got it washed in the morning instead, and yeah, because I really didn't want to say goodnight. We were just like talking, but at some point we had to go and like take showers, so we said goodnight, and then I thought that was the end of it. So yeah, that was the first day. That was when we met. That was our first night in Bali, and it was really meaningful. I couldn't sleep. I have this problem where if I'm in a foreign bed, it doesn't have to be in a foreign land. If it's a foreign bed, I have trouble sleeping and falling asleep. So I was basically cooked because I couldn't sleep in a new bed with, like, I was sharing a bed with like another girl, and she went to sleep really quickly, but I didn't. I was tossing and turning, and I was not falling asleep at all, which I was like, okay, this is expected. But I was actually kind of like running the events of the day through my head and like processing a lot of things. Like my brain was so loud, there was no way I could go to sleep. Like I knew all of the tips and tricks on how to turn off the brain and how to relax so that I could go to sleep. Nothing worked. Absolutely nothing worked. I was just thinking about how fun it has been. I would say like about 65 to 70% of my brain was on Xiaowei, on the boy, on the cute boy that I danced with. And I was like, oh no, is it too much? Is it did I do too much? Like, is it gonna be embarrassing from now on? So I gave up sleeping. Like, I dozed off at around 4-ish, 5-ish, and I woke up around like 6-ish. So I went down, did my journaling, and then I decided to go read. So I was reading in the lounge chair from like 7 a.m. until people started waking up. So I was having conversations with the people who woke up and stuff like that. I was just by the lounge chair. Jia was sharing a room with another friend on the first floor. So like their room door directly faces the pool, and then the pool is separated from like the indoor area, like the living and dining space and the kitchen space. Like it was separated by like just like a sliding door kind of thing, so like you could just see through the glass door to whoever's like outside. So when Xiaowei woke up, like the first thing he did when he opened the door was look out, and then he saw me right outside. I was also kind of conscious because like I was kind of like waiting for him to wake up, because obviously cute boy. I mean, at that point, right, I didn't think about my feelings. I was just like, cute boy, want to see him, very interesting. So I was like, oh my god, I'm blushing. I was like keeping a lookout for when I wasn't wondering when he was gonna wake up basically, but it turned out he was the latest to wake up. I don't know what time, like about 9+9-ish, almost 10. He opened the door, saw me, and then I also noticed that he woke up as well, because you could tell when the door was open. So yeah, our eyes met, and then he basically made a beeline towards me. He literally just picked up something from his suitcase, and then he just like made his way outside to the pool, and then he joined me on my lounge chair. Like there are 2 lounge chairs, one that was empty by that pool, and then he joined me on my lounge chair. And I was like, okay, so that's happening. So I was like, oh, that's cute, because I was like texting my friends that morning. I was like, hey, so this is what happened last night. We were partying and then we kind of got close, kind of thing, like, you know, like the things that you talk to your girlfriends about. And then update, he literally just came over and sat next to me. And they were like, oh. I was also like, oh, I don't know what's happening, but I like it. I was not using my brain. By that point, my brain melted, because I was like, why did this boy just walk up to me and sat next to me, even though there was a perfectly fine lounge chair right beside me, and his friends was all watching, and he gave no shits. He just went and sat right next to me, and I was like impressed. I was actually impressed, because that told me a lot. And told me like, this guy's interested, like he was actually interested. And then secondly, like he ain't shy. I was like, oh my god, that's hot. That's actually hot. And yeah, I was melting. I was really just melting, and I was just, right, so we're doing this now. Are we fighting for a chair again? Are we fighting for real estate on another chair again? And we did a little bit of that just for fun. But yeah, we were shoulder to shoulder the entire morning. Like from that point on, that was the morning of the second day, or the first full day, depending on how you look at things. We were inseparable. We never left each other for more than 20 minutes at any point in time. The entire trip. And then afterwards, because everybody woke up late, we decided to just go to Atlas Beach Club, which was around the area, to chill. We were seated together again. It wasn't really orchestrated. It just kind of happened that way. At that point, I wasn't sure if our friends was letting us sit together, like they were shuffling in a way, like subconsciously or consciously letting us sit together, or we just like kind of, you know, like was drawn to each other so much that we sat together no matter what. But yeah, we were sitting together again on the bed, and that was how we spent like the afternoon, basically, like in the sun, having fruits, having a coconut. We were in our own world, having our own conversations about like the randomest things. And then at some point, everybody has gone to dip in the pool except for us. So I was like, do you want to go and dip in the pool, because like we haven't actually like touched water yet. So he was like, yeah, let's go, why not? So we went into the pool. We didn't swim or anything. I can't swim. But we didn't swim. We just went in, dipped in, and then we just started talking. And then this was the first time in quite a while that we were like alone away from our friends, like a good distance away. So we had like privacy in our words as well. So we're just talking, and then we're just having like some deep conversations while in the water, just dipping. At this beach club, it was kind of like, it's kind of like a tiered situation. So imagine like there are like beds like on steps, kind of like there were like just rows and rows of beds along the strip of beach. So like imagine like there's a beach in between you and me right now. So the sea is there, and then there's like a strip of sand, and then there was like this infinity pool that stretches along the entire club, and then there was like, you know, tiers of different like sunbeds basically that you rent. So that's where we were sitting. So we were in that pool, which was lined by this public strip of beach. So that's where local like Balinese sellers of like touristy goods like hair ties and like temporary tattoos, things like that, they would just walk past and ask if you want some to the people in the pool. And they like to strike up conversations as well. I actually look kind of Korean sometimes, so like people always mistake me for Korean, and then like kind of Jiawei also can kind of pass for a Korean as well. So they were like, oh, are you guys from Korea? And we were like, yeah, we're from Korea. Even though we're not, but it was just like a fun thing. Like sometimes trolling people is fun. And then another seller passed by, and then they were like, oh, is he your boyfriend? And then at that point it was a split second thing, but I was like, yeah, it's my boyfriend. And then he also like, yep, I'm her boyfriend. Like he literally said that, and I literally like my head snapped over. I was like looking at him like, I thought I was the only one who liked to troll, but at the same time it was like a very, very surreal feeling that I understood right there and then that neither of us were kidding. Like we were actually truthfully telling the person that we were together, basically. And I was like, okay, I understood, like in a very emotional, spiritual way, that both of us just admitted to something that we didn't even agree on, but it felt so right. So that was kind of like, wow. And then while we were having our conversations, the topic of my birthday came out because like it was May. Like we were on this trip during the start of May, during Taurus season, but I'm a Gemini. My birthday is 24th May, so it's like way later in the month. Like so he was like, so when's your birthday? I was like 24th. Then he was like, oh, are you doing anything on the 24th? I was like, no, actually, like none. I have no plans at all. I mean, it was my 30th, so it was like kind of a big birthday as well. I really didn't know what I was gonna do, and I was honestly just like, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Actually, I have no plans at all. It was just in passing. I was not like expecting anything. And he was like, ah, okay. So I just said that, and then went about our other conversation, and then we got out of the pool, went back to our seat, and everybody was just scattered everywhere around the area. So like at some point it was just us, and we were just talking as usual. Like we never stopped talking, okay? Like we were just existing, talking, and then all of a sudden he literally was like seated sideways like this, right? And he just turned around like that and looked me dead straight in the eye. Like he literally just looked me dead straight in the eye, and then he was like, you said you had nothing to do on your birthday, right? Why don't you let me take you out or something like that? And I was like, I was visibly shocked, taken aback, and very impressed. I was like, literally no one has ever asked me that. Like literally no one has been like, let me take you out. And I was like, sure. I was like losing my mind. I was like, what in the world is happening? When he left to go to the bathroom or something, I literally picked up my phone and was furiously texting my friends like, well, it seems like I have a date on my birthday. I can't believe what was happening, because like we were on day 2 of Bali, and right there that morning I was like, oh, so cute, he joined me on a chair. And then now we're like talking about meeting. Like that was, you have to understand that that was actually a very big deal, because that was him saying that he wants to see me after we got back from Bali. Because this could have been like some sort of a Bali fling or something. Like it could have been that, but he literally told me in all those words, without even telling me, that he wants to see me beyond Bali. He was securing a date beyond Bali to see me. And I was like, wow, what in the world is happening? And I was impressed, because honestly at that point I was like, this is going really well. I'm not sure what's happening. If it's going to end up being like a Bali fling, I was like, you know what, it is what it is. Like it's fine. Like this is going better than I thought. And I was just living one day at a time. I wasn't even really thinking about like what was going to happen afterwards. Like I might be crushed if we never see each other again, but at the point I was just like, I was living every single moment. Like I was really just present. I wasn't really thinking about it. But then him asking me about like a future date when we were already back in Singapore really meant a lot to me. And then I had like this conversation with another girlie in like the group. I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I kind of like it. She was really nice about it. She was like, you know, sometimes these things happen. This is the beauty of traveling and being on a trip with like friends. Like you don't know what's gonna happen, and this is kind of like fate. It's like a blessing. And then she was like, just let it happen. Whatever happens, just go with the flow and then see what happens. And I was like, okay, sure. So that's what I was like, okay, I guess if it's okay, because I literally asked her like, do you think it's okay that we're doing this, because like it's supposed to be a friend trip? And it's just like, yeah, it's fine, it's totally fine. Like, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like just you do you. If it's supposed to happen, it is going to happen. And I was like, that is so wise, but also so true. So I'm like, I'm so happy that you're giving me like a green light, because I was feeling really bad. I was like, I'm not here to ruin this bros trip. But she was like, it's fine, I don't see anything wrong with it. And I was like, cool, because I don't know what's happening, but I like what's happening. Yeah. I can't believe that's still the second day of Bali. At some point while we were sitting there and chilling, right, there was a conversation about crystals and tarot and like birth charts and stuff, because that's like my default. Like if you know me, you know that I will always talk about it, because I love like astrology and talking about all these like spirituality things and also the mystical side of life. I was actually thinking about maybe trying to buy a crystal when I was in Bali or something, didn't end up doing it, spoiler alert, but yeah, we were talking about tarot cards and like astrology and stuff like that. I was trying to read their charts and stuff, and then we were like, we should go and find like a tarot reader and then get our get a tarot reading done. But anyways, we left the club after the sun had set, so we were just walking out of the club. At the corner of my eye, I saw that there was a booth with a woman inside offering tarot readings in a little tent. We walked the same way in to the club in the morning, but we didn't even see that there was a tent that was offering tarot readings. That was the only active tentage out of all the shops that was lining that street. Like, looking back, it was a very mystical thing, but back then I was just excited. I was like, oh my god, we were just talking about tarot reader and there's one here. It's like, everyone go do your reading. I didn't do my reading because I was like kind of scared, because I was like, something's happening and I didn't really want to get my tarot reading done. I don't mind doing it on my own. I have like my own cards, and I didn't bring it over, but I was like, I can do my own at home, it's fine, you guys do it. So 3 of them did it. The girlie that told me that everything will be okay, and then Xiaowei's roommate, and Xiaowei was the third and final person to do it. I was there for the first 2 reading, but then they kind of banished me from Xiaowei's reading because like romance is always going to be part of the question, and it's kind of like, why would I be there to listen to him ask about me kind of thing. Like, it was like kind of all respect. I didn't want to be there anyway, so I just kind of left and I just sat by the side waiting for them to finish. I told Xiaowei on the way home that, you know, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to tell me, it's fine, like, it's private, it's between you and the tarot reader. The reading is like, it's completely yours. I don't mind if you want to tell me, but it's up to you. Like, you don't have to tell me. Like, he was like, oh, I wanted you there actually. I don't know why they sent you away. I was like, oh, okay, sure. You can tell me if you want. So we went back to the villa after everything's done, like just chilling on the lounge chair again. It was late at night. We noticed that every single one of our friends went upstairs to sleep. Like, every single one, including his roommate. So I was like, what is happening? Like, why are you going upstairs to sleep? So it turned out that without me having a say, they reshuffled our sleeping situation so that I had to move downstairs to Xiaowei's room. So we were essentially roommates at that point. I was like, oh cool, so we're sharing a room and a bed now on our second night. Yeah, so I only spent 1 night in the lovely master suite upstairs with the girlie, and now I have to spend it with a potential love interest. I was not complaining. I was like, oh, that's very fun. I was fine with it. It wasn't like crossing any boundaries or anything, but I was slightly embarrassed because I'm not sure if I was ready to like share a bed with like someone else, like just generally, like even like room with someone and go no makeup with someone as well. But anyways, we were like, I guess it's fine, we can just share a room, I guess, and a bed. At that point, it really didn't matter anymore because like at that point we had like a weird understanding about the way our relationship was. Like, how in the world do we even have a relationship on the second day of Bali? I don't get it. Like, we still don't get it, but we saw nothing wrong with it. In fact, it was a righting of a wrong by rearranging the way our sleeping arrangements was in that villa. I think everybody at this point, right, because everyone's around my age as well, like late 20s to 30s, like you kind of know, like in life things like this happen, and when these things happen, you don't question it. If feelings are involved, you don't question it, just go for it, explore it, and see where it goes. I think everybody has that understanding at that point. So that's what we did. We just continued on the lounge chair, just chatting until it was time to go in. Like, we literally didn't have to care about anyone else anymore because everybody was asleep on the second floor, and then we had the first floor to ourselves. It really didn't matter what time we went up, so we were like chatting until really late at night. So he explained the tarot reading to me, and he was like, well, the person actually like knew that I just met someone. Like, the person literally asked, like, did you just meet someone? And he's like, yeah, like 3 days ago. We were like, how in the world would the tarot reader even know? Like, it was the cards that told the tarot reader that he just met someone as well. He literally gave me like a very, very summarized version, but the main message that he got away from the tarot reading was that tarot cards were telling him to make a decision because I wasn't going to be around forever. I wasn't really sure what I mean, but it resonated within him and he was impacted by it, so like he shared that with me, and I was like, oh, okay. At that point I was a little panicky. I was like, what if you don't make the decision and I can't wait anymore? Like, I kind of don't want this to end at this point. Like, I know it's only the second day, but I'm kind of like really into you now, and like we have this beautiful but weird thing, chemistry thing going on right now. So like, if you're not gonna decide and I'm going to leave, I'm gonna be devastated. I don't know what the tarot reader was on about. I don't know what resonated with him, but I was like kind of panicking. I was just hoping that he would make the decision like in my favor. At the point when I was hearing that, so I was like, but yeah, so that was the second day. We went to sleep. I was supposed to be tired, but I wasn't. It was a new bed again with a guy that I liked as well, right by my side. So I wasn't sleeping well again. It was another night of almost no sleep, but it was a little bit better. Like, I was tossing and turning, but I slept a little bit more. Not much, but at least a little bit of rest, because the next day we were supposed to wake up really early to go surfing. Story for another day. But yes, we went surfing. I went surfing. I don't know how to swim, but I went surfing and I survived. Oh my goodness. Usually when I tell the story of us getting together, like our Bali love story, I usually tell it mainly up till the second day, because that was where everything kind of like clicked in place. But since we're going for like a very detailed version of my perspective of the story, I'm gonna go a little bit further. So by the third day, we were like full on like just couple mode. We were holding hands like a couple, we were cuddling like a couple in front of everybody, like, you know, like arms around each other. We were just straight up behaving like we've been together for 2 months. Everyone had just accepted it as it is, and I was here for it. It was so comfortable. Like, do you know that feeling when you find someone and like your bodies fit together and like your bodies just kind of knew how to exist in each other's presence? It kind of felt like that. Like, there was no adjustment period, there was no learning curve. It was just the moment we were together, our bodies knew what to do. Like, it was comforting to hold his hand. It was comforting to have his arm around me. It was comforting to have his presence beside me. Like, my body was physically like comforted, and I think it's the same for him as well. It's like we just kind of fit together really well, like physically as well. It wasn't even like a, oh, I haven't had this in so long, so I'm enjoying the companionship kind of thing. It was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening, but whatever is happening is mind-blowing, because I don't know how our bodies are capable of this much chemistry. Like, I knew something amazing was happening, but I really didn't know what to think about it. It was beautiful. So yeah, that's how we were together for the rest of the Bali trip. It was only the third day, so for the rest of the days it was just a lot of talking. We talked non-stop. It wasn't very lovey-dovey at all, because at that point, like, it kind of felt like our two souls met, and then our bodies recognized each other, and then everything else was rushing to fill in the blanks. So like, we were talking, we went deep into like our traumas, our families, our traumas, our fears, our history, like everything. Like, it was just all out on the table. We were just literally showing all our cuts, and we were getting to know each other to the fullest, and we were just doing it so naturally. It wasn't like pushed. It wasn't like us really wanting to know. Like, it was like it just came out. Like, I really wanted to share, he wanted to share, and we're just like, yeah, it just felt like a rush of information in a way that it felt natural. We were just filling in the blanks so that we kind of like were updated to how we are in this time and space, kind of, because it kind of felt like we knew each other for a really long time already at that point. Like, we were just behaving as if like we've been together forever basically at that point. On the surfing days, nighttime, we experienced an island-wide blackout for like 6 hours or so. So we ended up having to cancel our very fancy birthday dinner, and then we actually rode to the nearest supermarket, bought our own wagyu beef, went back to the villa, and then we cooked. And then it turned out that for some reason, I have no idea how, it turned out that Xiaowen and I were the ones doing the bulk of the cooking. And then in kind of retrospect, after that entire like busyness of cooking for the next 2 or 3 hours was done and completed, we realized that we worked really well together. First of all, we were talking about how like our relationship is kind of like being sped run. Like, we were speed running it, like we were sleeping together already, we were going on a trip together already. We were already learning each other's like bad habits, daily living rhythms, things like that, like right from the get-go. We also went grocery shopping together. We also cooked together, and we did so many different things together that we were like, wow. So yeah, the cooking was a surprise, because like we worked so well as a team. There was no arguments, 100% trust. Everything went so smoothly. It was like actually mind-boggling in retrospect. After we were done being busy, we're like, did we just do that like seamlessly? There were no like hiccups whatsoever. Like, we were working as if we've been a team forever. We also had the same like habits and stuff like that. We were both equally messy, to the point where our friend Shah was like, I can't look at your rooms, because your room is like, your room is something else, because he's kind of like a neat freak kind of. So like, yeah, we just learned a lot of like weird quirks about ourselves, and we were like, wow, we are actually the same person. Like, we actually are the same person. We think about the same weird things, and we say the damnedest thing at the same time, and it goes really deep. I don't even know how to say it, because like it will be here forever if we say it, but basically we are the same person, like we realize, and then we complement each other in all sorts of ways. We continue to learn about these things after the trip, like now as we've been dating, but we've learned a lot while we were on that 7-day trip together. He actually got Bali belly on the 4th day, so I had to take care of him. So that was added onto our relationship speed run thing, like the fact that I had to take care of him while he was sick as well. And then also like I had to pack for him because he was sick, because we were moving to the hostel portion of our vacation at that point. We experienced packing together, moving together, navigating together. Oh my god, everything. We experienced everything in like a few days. Yeah, so like we never actually spoke about when we got together. There was never a moment where we were like, are we dating? What were we? We never asked that. It was like a silent acknowledgement that we are together. Like, it was almost as if it was from the moment we announced to the person that we were together, but we also agreed that it happened in the pool that day, but it did not happen by someone else asking us. Like, that probably like kind of solidified things a little bit, but that understanding happened before the person asked. Like, there was an understanding that passed between us sometime in between the moment we entered the pool to the moment we announced to the seller that we were together. Like, something happened during that time that we still cannot figure out up to this point. So we never asked each other like, what are we together? When is the day that we got together? Like, we asked each other this question and we try to decipher this every single time we meet. We're like, how the fuck did we get together? Like, what in the world happened in Bali? Like, we dissect different days and different moments all the time when we get together, because honestly, like, we're still bamboozled to this day, but we are equally very thankful and we are very sure that this is something that's like one in a million. We're so grateful that it happened the way it happened as well. It's so magical that we can't even explain it ourselves. I think like whatever has happened goes beyond like what our human brains can really like fathom. I don't even think it's like the romantic in me or like the fact that I believe in this kind of stuff, like the spiritual stuff, but I really think that we were meant to find each other in this life, and he believes it too. Like, there's like something inside us that's telling us this, that we're soul bound. Call me love sick, call me love drunk, call me crazy, but honestly, I'm being 100% truthful when I'm saying that that is exactly how both of us feel about this situation right now. We're really thankful about it, because like, this is something special, and I can't believe that I found this in this lifetime, you know. But yeah, so how should I end this? We did end up deciding on a day that would become like our anniversary, because the final thing that happened that is worth talking about in this video was that I realized on the fourth night when he got Bali belly and he was feeling really sick. I think I heard him say I love you like into my shoulder, like he was like resting here. I think I heard him say it, but I'm not sure, so I just left it first because he was sick and I was busy trying to care for him. But it was in my head, so I was like, okay, that might have been said. It just got me started thinking. I was starting to use my brain finally to think about what my feelings for this man was. So in the morning of the 5th day, when we were supposed to move to the hostel, I was like, I think I might love him. I was like comforting him, like his head was here and I was just like doing this on the bed, like, or just like, yeah, poor boy with his Bali belly, and I was just thinking in my head like, is it too fast to say that I love this guy kind of thing? But because we were like moving and stuff and it was like a full day of activities after that, I didn't really think about it until the night when we were in the hostel, and I was unable to sleep again. So I was like, oh wow, I guess I'll be thinking about this again. And think I did, and I had a little crisis and I started crying. I was overwhelmed with a lot of emotions. I realized that I did love this boy, like this guy that I thought was cute and I thought I was just gonna play, and then all of a sudden like I fucking caught feelings. Like, catching feelings for this person just doesn't cut it at all. Like, I literally fell in love, but I don't even know when it happened, and I was freaking out. I was like, is this too early? Like, it's like, I know I was gonna tell him, because I'm at a point in my life where if you feel something, you're just gonna say it, because like, you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So I knew that I was gonna tell him, but I was freaking out because I was like, what is he gonna think? And like, what in the world? It's only been a few days. I don't get it, but I was gonna tell him in the morning. I managed to sleep a little bit after my little mental breakdown, and then I woke up, and then like the first thing this lovely man said to me after good morning was I love you. He literally told me I love you first, and I was like, oh, I cried this for nothing because he told me it first. Like, now I don't have to worry about anything. So I literally just replied I love you too back to him. And later in the day I asked him like, why did he say that in the morning? And then he was like, it just felt right. And I was like, wow, what a man. I don't know, I'm filled with so much love for this man. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna cry. Like, I love him so much. I feel like I don't know, I feel so lucky every day to have found this person that is like completely my person. Oh my god, I'm crying. I'm having a crisis right now. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, I love this guy so much. You don't even know. It's just surreal that after basically giving up on the fact that I would find, like, honestly, like, even when I was thinking about finding someone potentially so that I wouldn't have to live this life alone, back before the Bali trip, I was like, maybe I'll just find someone that I can live with. I lost hope in the whole soulmate thing. I lost hope in like finding someone that would be like 100% made for me, because at the point I didn't really believe in that anymore. Like, I was like, if I can find someone who treats me good enough and like I can like enough, like I can fall in love with enough, like it'll be good, I guess, to just have someone to accompany me for the rest of my life. Like, I would consider myself lucky, but this was beyond all calculation congratulations. This was beyond all expectations. To have found someone who was basically made for me, and I him. I never knew that I was a lucky person like this. Like, I've never known how it felt like to be so lucky, and also to be in so much love. I don't think I've ever felt so much love for a single person before, like in the way that I do. So yeah, so anyways, like, our anniversary is now 5th of May because that's the date of the morning that he told me he loved me, and I told him I loved him too. That was my perspective on it. I will supplement it with a little bit of his perspective as well, just a little bit. You remember I said that I found him cute even before like we met, because I see him on Shah's story all the time, like on Instagram stories. Like, I always see his photos, his videos on Shah's Instagram stories. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's the cute guy. I'm not sure what the timeline is, but like, at some point last year in September, that was a very long time ago, from like our May trip, Shah posted a picture of us. We took a selfie and then he shared it onto social media or something. Xiaowei was like, post this girl is cute, and Shah's like, don't even bother, you're not her type. That's what Shah said to him, and he was like, oh okay, I guess you're cute then. So he never really thought too much about it. But upon finding out that I was the one that Shah's going on the Bali trip with, he was very, very excited to be on the same trip as me as well. So he was also planning to maybe flirt a little bit. So both of us had intentions to at least play a little bit and see how things go, like with no expectations. We did not think that this was going to go anywhere. It was just because, like, you know, our eye candy's there, like we just found each other cute kind of thing. And yeah, I think it was kind of magical that he thought I was cute. I always laugh at the fact that Shah told Xiaowei that Xiaowei is not my type, because the irony is Xiaowei is exactly my type. Remember how I was telling you that I don't really know what my type was, but I did have like some specifications when I met Xiaowei. I got a reminder of everything that I liked in a guy. I mean, growing up, you know when you like something, like you see some elements of like a celebrity that you like, or like in a fictional character that you like. Like, Xiaowei has every single portion of every single thing that I like in a man, down to a T. He's my type. It just literally feels like he's made for me. I hope this video was entertaining to watch and to listen to, and I hope I gave you diabetes because of how sweet this story is. I know it's a very sweet story, but sometimes we need the sweet, wholesome stories as well, right? I am going to stop talking your ears off. I'm going to sign off right here in this video. So thank you so much for watching all the way to this point. If you have, I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Remember to like, subscribe, tell me what you think down below, you know, all the standard stuff. I appreciate your support, and goodbye.